Reddit Martian back with another tip top video for you. r/AskReddit. NSFW. What's the kinkiest thing you've ever done? Having sex with a co-worker while hiding in a bathroom at a nightclub. The club was open during the day, but closed for 1 hour to then reopen as a nightclub. Me and my co-worker didn't want to pay the entrance fee, so we hid in a VIP bathroom and had sex. The club reopened. We went down and rejoined our other colleagues who had been queuing for an hour. Worth it? Besides sex, what did you do with the other 55 minutes while in the bathroom? Met a woman online who wanted a friends with benefits. We hit it off chatting, but she was afraid that since I was shorter than her she would have a hard time being attracted to me. I suggested that we have sex before we meet, which led to the most intense sex I've ever had. Basically, this woman I had never met before went to a hotel room, got naked, and blindfolded herself while waiting for me to arrive. When I got there, I walked into a room where a woman I had never seen before was naked and masturbating while waiting for me to have sex with her. It was probably the most taboo and kinky thing I have ever done, and I crave doing it again. I keep the key to a peep lock. The lock is on a man I've never met, and he sends me hundreds of dollars every month to make fun of him via text. Okay, so how do people find gigs like this? I would be totally up for this, but I don't have the patience to advertise myself. Had sex in the office of Domino's while a customer waited for their pizza to finish. It finished at the same time I did. Wait, that was quick. Both were disappointed with the amount of sausage they received. When I was younger, I dated a girl who was on the kinky side. She popped in a rope of anal beads, and when she was close to coming, she told me to pull them out. Not knowing what to do, I just gave them a yank. Not how you're supposed to do it. A butthole slamming shut 10 times in less than a second makes a hell of a sound. Sounded like stepping on bubble wrap. She's not a lawnmower, dude. Had a girl bite my peep once. It wasn't just using a little too much teeth to spice it up. She full on bit me and drew blood, on purpose. I got mad and kicked her out, and she didn't understand why. Couple weeks later, after it had healed, I invited her back over low-key hoping she'd do it again, but she didn't do it again. Got a BJ from my ex while having a conversation with her mom. My little sister had a friend that we both grew up with. I always got along with her but considered her the forbidden fruit, as she and my sister were very close. Years pass and I'm 20 and she's 18. Bumped into her on a night out and I invited her back to my family home. We both knew what was up. I ended up ducking her throat on Omegle in front of a number of strangers. In between breathes, she would look up at me and tell me how much she dreamed of ducking me since the age of 14. The strangers would give her orders and she'd happily go along with it, making at least 4 guys come. The Omegle thing was all her idea and it was the hottest thing I've ever done. Guess I enjoy sharing. No, but this cougar colleague that was visiting for a conference invited me up to her hotel room. Was back at my desk an hour later wondering what the hell just happened. He came to visit me at school one day to drop off lunch and I gave him an unofficial tour. It led to me showing him the theater where I spent a lot of time because of my performing arts classes and drama club meeting. In the back of the theater there were these stairs that led up to an old bell tower that was no longer in use, so we snuck up there and found a few things that we decided to play with. There was one of those big spools in the middle and he pushed it so it laid on its side and draped me over it and used my legs as a way to make the spool roll back and forth while he ducked me in the bell tower. It wasn't my kinkiest adventure, but it was one of my more exciting ones. The absolute mad lad made a X-wheel. My wife, at the time, and I traveled in Europe in the mid-2000s. Our last 4 days were in Belgium. We were sharing a hostel with a Dutch girl in her early 20s. Her English wasn't great, but my wife spoke with her over breakfast and discovered we had almost identical travel plans. The 3 of us had a great time together, and it was especially handy having a native Dutch speaker in addition to my wife's college level French and my German. Anyway, we got back too late for dinner, so my wife and I got some snacks from the kitchen and brought them back to the room. We shared our haul with our new Dutch traveling partner and talked about the day. At some point, she asked in broken English if my wife and I wanted to have sex. We were both under the impression that she was asking us if we wanted her to leave the room for my wife and I to fool around. So we answered yes. She started removing her clothes. My wife and I had previously discussed having a threesome at some point, but we had not yet gone through with it. I didn't even have to verbally ask my wife. We locked eyes and decided to roll with it. Despite the language barrier, we all had a fantastic time. We traveled again the next day and enjoyed another amazing evening. By the third day, we stopped to find a place to sneak off and have fun. On the last day, our travel partner got sick, so we took care of her. Once we got home, we talked about trying to invite our Dutch friend to America or set up another threesome with a local girl, but it just never happened again. Went skinny dipping in a river and had sex in the water at 10:30 am, 200 yards from and in full view of a very busy highway. We had just gotten back to shore and got our clothes on when a minivan with a family of small kids pulled up. I often think, what would we have done if they had pulled up 1 minute earlier? I guess waited out in the water till they left and we could fetch our clothes. This isn't the kinkiest, but one that comes to mind and don't mind telling. Also, one ex-girlfriend really wanted to have a threesome with her sister. They laid in my bed and played sucked on each other's boobs. But I had been up for 7 days and passed out due to the weirdness. TLDR. Don't do meth. Reddit youngins. FYI, I'm sober now. Eater. The honorable mention of getting a handy jammer under the table at a bar by a girl I had met an hour earlier. Today, had sex with my girlfriend while my best friend was literally 3 steps away from us, watching YouTube with earphones on. They probably knew, not gonna lie. Duck. I gotta find another video. Lem, turn up the volume. These buttholes are loud. I spilled beer on a friend's foot. She looked at me and said, lick it off. I did. I'm afraid that awakened something in me. Went to a BDSM themed night at a club. I enjoy being submissive, so I went with my boyfriend at the time as my dom. It was a lot of fun and the biggest turn on ever. We went all out, collar, leash, etc. Had some fantastic sex that night. Edit. My top rated comment is about me being actually humiliated in front of strangers and loving it. How funny. Fingered a girl to climax under a blanket while me and my roommates watched Shaun of the Dead in the living room and drank beers. Credit to her poker face. Finger ducked on a piano in the backroom of a church with the pastor's son. Why does the fact that it's the pastor's son make that so much hotter? He's the only one who could ever reach her. Tied my girlfriend at the time up with some rope and went to town. The next day she did the same to me. 10/10 would do it again. Had sex in the server room at work with a co-worker of mine. It was late and we were both drunk, but it was really fun. Had a tub of pig's blood I got for a film I was doing for college. I covered my girlfriend's in it Carrie style and ducked. My boyfriend came in an ice cube tray and I used those cum cubes for my drinks during a dinner party we threw. Every now and then while we were mingling with the guests, I'd catch his eye, sip my drink and wink. It was so hot. For those who may wonder or think I'm completely depraved, they were only used in my drinks. No one else's. Banged a friend's wife while he banged my girlfriend in the same room at the same time. We weren't even drunk or high. A slow day at my store and a co-worker came to visit. She ended up waiting on hands and knees in the back room and I would duck her in between customers. Literally told one lady, let me know if you need anything, and then went to the back to tease her with one hand while she sucked my peep. Not the kinkiest of all, but a very nice memory for sure. Do you know what you are? That's right, you're a champ. Thanks for watching. Like and share if you enjoyed. Don't forget the bell. Subscribe for more videos. See you soon, Martians.